My psychotic younger sister got pregnant by my older sister's fiance, so we made her face the music. My younger sister Lila locked herself in the bathroom 3 hours ago and won't come out. I can hear her crying through the door, these horrible choking sobs that make my stomach twist. My older sister Rachel is pacing the hallway outside, her phone clutched in her white-knuckled hand, checking it every few seconds like she's waiting for something. Her fiance Mark left an hour ago, just walked out the front door without saying goodbye to anyone. Rachel didn't try to stop him. This all started at Sunday dinner 2 days ago. We were at mom and dad's house, the whole family together like we do every week. Lila had been quiet lately, missing dinners, not responding to group texts, but she showed up that night wearing this huge sweatshirt even though it was 80 degrees outside. She barely ate anything, just pushed food around her plate while everyone else talked. I noticed Mark kept glancing at her across the table. Not normal glances either. These quick, nervous looks like he was checking to see if she was okay. Rachel noticed too. I saw her watching them both with this expression I couldn't read. After dinner, Lila went to the bathroom and didn't come back for 20 minutes. When she finally emerged, her eyes were red and puffy. Mom asked if she was feeling all right, and Lila just nodded, grabbed her purse, and left without saying goodbye. Rachel followed her outside. I watched through the window as they stood by Lila's car, talking. Or rather, Rachel was talking. Lila stood there with her arms wrapped around herself, staring at the ground. The conversation ended with Rachel grabbing Lila's arm hard enough that Lila flinched. Then Lila got in her car and drove away. Rachel came back inside and announced she and Mark were leaving early. Her voice was too bright, too forced. Yesterday, Mom called me worried. She said she'd been trying to reach Lila all day, but her phone was going straight to voicemail. She'd driven by Lila's apartment and her car was there, but she wouldn't answer the door. Mom asked if I knew what was wrong, if Lila had said anything to me. I told her I didn't know, but that was a lie, because I'd seen something 3 weeks ago that I'd been trying to forget. I'd stopped by Lila's apartment to drop off some mail that got delivered to my place by mistake. I knocked, but nobody answered, so I used the spare key she'd given me for emergencies. The apartment was dark and quiet. I was about to leave when I heard voices from the bedroom, low and urgent. I should have left right then, but something made me freeze, because one of those voices was Mark's. I stood in that hallway for maybe 30 seconds, my heart pounding, trying to convince myself I was wrong, that it wasn't what it sounded like. Then I heard Lila say something that made my blood run cold, but I couldn't make out the exact words. I left quietly and never told anyone. This morning, Rachel called me at 6 a.m. Her voice was shaking. She said she needed me to come over to Lila's apartment immediately, that something had happened and she couldn't handle it alone. When I arrived, Rachel was already inside, standing in the living room with her arms crossed. Mark was sitting on the couch with his head in his hands. Lila was in the bathroom. That's where she's been ever since. Rachel wouldn't tell me what happened at first, just kept saying we needed to wait for mom and dad. But I pushed, and finally she showed me her phone. A text message from Lila, sent at 4 a.m. The message was only 4 words long, but it explained everything. Rachel had screenshots of other messages too, dozens of them between Lila and Mark, going back months. The timestamps showed conversations happening late at night during family dinners, even while Rachel was at work. Then Rachel showed me something else. A photo Lila had sent her yesterday. Medical paperwork from a clinic. And suddenly all the weird behavior made sense. The oversized sweatshirts, the missing dinners, the crying, Mark's guilty looks, why Rachel grabbed Lila's arm so hard after Sunday dinner. Mom and dad just arrived. I can hear them talking to Rachel in hushed voices in the kitchen. Dad's voice is getting louder, angrier. Mom is crying. Mark still hasn't moved from the couch. Rachel is walking toward the bathroom now. She's knocking on the door, telling Lila she needs to come out, that we're all here and she needs to face this. Lila is screaming that she can't, that she's sorry, that she never meant for any of this to happen. Rachel is yelling back that sorry isn't good enough, that she destroyed everything, that the whole family is here and Lila is going to explain herself. The door is opening, and what happened next shocked everyone. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.